Welcome to IFAStories, where ancient wisdom meets modern storytelling. Step into the sacred world of Ifa, the Yoruba spiritual system, where every tale carries the power of divination, destiny, and deep cultural insight. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the Òrìṣàs, the divine forces guiding our paths, Ọ̀rúnmìlà, Erinmoles, and many more. Each story is a bridge between the past and the present, weaving timeless lessons that inspire, enlighten, and transform. Embrace the wisdom, honor the tradition, and journey with us into the heart of Ifa. Subscribe now and let the stories guide you. To explore full Yoruba stories, Ifa teachings, and ancestral wisdom, visit our website, www.ifastories.com. Step into the sacred path for more resources and information. Osa Méjì finally resolves the problem of the witches' extinction on Earth. Story: it was he who brought them to Earth and saved them from total extinction from the face of the planet. In the beginning, the matter concerned Òrìṣàńlá, who, as the direct representative of Olódùmarè on Earth, led all the divinities, including the community of witches. Òrìṣàńlá had 2 lakes behind his house. One would dry up during the dry season, while the other provided water all year round. Both lakes were freely used by all, but the wives of the Òrìṣàs mocked him for allowing witches and others to use his lake. In response, he made the all-season lake exclusive to his household and allowed the witches to use the one that dried up in the dry season. The witches, knowing their lake could not supply water during the dry season, went for a divination, to know what to do to ensure year-round access. They were told to offer a he-goat to Isu. After Isu ate the offering, he dove into Òrìṣàńlá's private lake, removed the stone that blocked the spring, and transferred it to the witch's lake. The stone's effect was to prevent water from going underground. Confident their lake would no longer dry up, the witches assigned 2 birds to guard it from intruders. The birds were named Kahre and Tutu. When the dry season came, Òrìṣàńlá's lake dried up quickly, while the witch's lake remained full. The witches gave the birds a signal to warn them if any intruders tried to take water. When Òrìṣàńlá's family began to run out of water, they went to the witch's lake. The birds allowed them to fetch water, but the wives also entered to bathe. At that moment, the birds began to sound the alarm. Kare first cried, "Aya, Risa, way!" And Tutu shouted, "Aya, Risa, ponmi, tu, tu, tu." With this, the intruders realized the lake was guarded and fled home. When the witches arrived, they asked the guards who the intruders were, and the birds replied they were members of Òrìṣàńlá's family. The witches swore to punish Òrìṣàńlá for violating his own decree by allowing his family to use their lake. Their march song was, "Eni asoro, omo eronko, afobo oniyan, to, risa tayare, aariye, aarimu." Translation: today, chaos has broken out. All the birds of the forest will speak like human beings. Today, we shall destroy our Òrìṣàńlá and his wives. Hearing the witches' war song from afar, Òrìṣàńlá fled his home and sought refuge with Agon. Arpigun prepared for battle and waited at his doorway with his weapons. As soon as the witches arrived, Gun drew a fiery machete, but they swallowed him whole along with his weapons. Òrìṣàńlá escaped through the back door. He sought refuge with Sango, who suffered the same fate. One by one, Òrìṣàńlá ran to the homes of all the other divinities, but all were consumed by the invading witches. At last, he ran to Ọ̀rúnmìlà's house. Ọ̀rúnmìlà built a secret hiding place in his shrine, hiding Òrìṣàńlá under it and covering him with a white cloth, with only his head sticking out. This is represented today by the raised platform under a white cloth in Ọ̀rúnmìlà's shrine called Orit. Then Osa Méjì took out his opal, divination chain, prepared the divination powder, and made the sacred marks of his own Ifa. With the Iruke, diviner's whisk, he spread the powder while chanting, "Ero, Ero, Ero, peace, peace, peace." When the witches reached the crossroads near his house, they became disoriented. They sent their 2 pathfinders to locate Òrìṣàńlá. The trackers found Ọ̀rúnmìlà at his door and told him they had followed Òrìṣàńlá's trail there. He confirmed that he was hiding him, but claimed he was so emaciated and lifeless that there was no flesh left on him. He asked for 7 days to fatten him so they could later kill him and share the meat. He spoke to them with a forbidden incantation that cannot be repeated, as it summons destruction. The essence was to enchant them into accepting any explanation he gave, so he could delay them and protect Òrìṣàńlá. The next morning, Osa Méjì performed divination and was told to offer a black hen to Ifa and a he-goat to Esu. He acted quickly, knowing the witches would shorten the coming days and nights. He was also told to prepare a feast with rabbit meat and palm wine, laced with sacred powder and the unmentionable incantation. He built a fenced area in front of his house and coated it with a sticky resin called ate. He placed 16 wooden seats inside, also covered with the resin. When the day arrived, he set the feast and drinks in the enclosure. As soon as the witches arrived, they sat and began to eat and drink. After the meal, they asked Osa Méjì to bring them Òrìṣàńlá. Before he could respond, one witch spotted Òrìṣàńlá beneath the shrine and shouted. When they moved to attack, they realized Esu had glued them to their seats, and the sticky resin immobilized their wings. They were trapped. At that moment, Osa Méjì handed his Ifa knife to Òrìṣàńlá, who held his iruke tightly and began destroying the witches one by one. When they finished, they sighed in relief. They didn't know one witch had crawled under Runmila's shrine, the same spot where Òrìṣàńlá had once hidden. While killing the others, they sang, Tami po ye okankanu, ikusan pa yaye. My enemies are many, I will kill them one by one. When Òrìṣàńlá saw the one hiding under the shrine, he tried to kill her, but Osa Méjì stopped him. He said one cannot kill someone seeking refuge under an Ifa shrine, just as Òrìṣàńlá himself had once been spared. They dragged the witch out and removed the resin. Upon examining her, they saw she was pregnant. Osa Méjì said it was forbidden to kill a pregnant woman once her condition was known. In Benin, this is called Aigbosi Gbekem. Òrìṣàńlá protested, saying if they spared her, she would birth more witches who would try to destroy the world like those before. It is believed that had she been killed that night, the entire witch lineage would have ended. Instead, Òrìṣàńlá proposed making her swear an oath not to harm innocent people. Osa Méjì suggested that the earth was the only force powerful enough to destroy evil witches, as it is the only energy that outlives all others. He dug a hole, filled it with food, and covered it with kola nuts. They made her swear that the earth would destroy her or her descendants if they ever killed a child of Olódùmarè or Runmila without just cause. She swore the oath and ate the kola from the mound. But she asked, how will I survive if I cannot feed on the children of Olódùmarè or Runmila? Òrìṣàńlá responded, if any of his children offended her or sought her help, he would compensate her by sacrificing an animal, ram, goat, bird, etc., and sprinkling its blood outside his house. This act would show the offense had been paid. This is the origin of the Sara, still practiced by the children of Olódùmarè. It signals that the offering comes from a child of Olódùmarè and must be accepted by the witches. Additionally, Osa Méjì told her, if she ever saw food left in a pot at a crossroads, by the riverside, or on a hearth, she should know it came from a child of Runmila, and accept it in peace. This is the etutu, sacrificial offering, that Runmila often recommends his followers make at night to deal with witch-related problems. The unmentionable incantation used during nighttime offerings is meant to remind her of the oath her mother once swore on that predestined night. Meaning of the revelation: no divinity can defeat the witches when they decide to fight, except Olódùmarè and Runmila. Anyone who believes amulets or dark preparations alone can overcome witchcraft is deceiving themselves. Unless the witches break the sacred pact made by their ancestral mother that night, they were saved from extinction.